guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Hope you guys are hanging in there. Today I want to talk about how to create a really good speed farming team for the arena. Now, if you guys don't know, arena is so important in terms of overall, just applies everywhere in the game, arena farming that is, because of your great haul. So the first thing to talk about before we actually get into the comp of speed farming, of creating like a speed nuking arena team, is making sure that you optimize your daily arena tokens and your overall wins in the arena, your overall medals per day. So one thing you want to make sure you do is every day in the market you go buy a mystery shard or something really cheap, you get it, and then you will complete your daily quest where you can get 5 arena tokens. That's a really easy way to add 5 arena tokens. Otherwise, they replenish 1 per hour every single day. You can also get some by playing for 180 minutes a day, even if you just have the game on in the background. So making sure you get and use as many arena tokens a day as you can, especially while we're on quarantine and on lockdown, is a great way to kind of make sure you're optimizing your arena farming strategy. Now, other than that, I've said this before, but it's really important that on defense, if you're just speed farming, you should just have one like level 1 on defense. I don't see any reason to build a strong or a capable defensive team. You want to be losing all of your defenses. That way you keep dropping down in trophies. That way the caliber of opponent on offense is easy enough to speed farm using the strategy that we're going to be outlining today. So in terms of an arena strategy, or excuse me, an arena speed farming nuking strategy, what you want to do, guys, is build a team of 4 different types of champions, okay? So a speed lead with a speed aura is super important if you have one, or if you have access to one. Now I'm going to go ahead and outline a couple really quickly here. I'm going to talk about non-legendaries this entire video because, you know, who knows how many legendaries you have, and you probably don't have the correct ones if we're talking only legendary. So in terms of speed leads, there's a couple great ones in the epic category. So, and there's actually one pretty solid one in the rare category too. So one of them is Jingle Hunter, if I can find him. Do I even have him? He might be in my vault. Either way, Jingle Hunter, I believe has a 24% speed aura. So having that speed aura is going to ensure that you go first. An imperative part of any arena nuking strategy is to make sure that you're going first, right? Because you need these battles to end, you know, ideally in about 5 to 10 seconds. You want to just have boom, 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 and that's it. You're on to the next match, right? You don't want to be sitting there all day, and it's not like Platinum Arena or High Gold Arena where you're really trying to enjoy the strategic elements of arena. That's not what it's about. It's about just building up your great haul as quickly as possible. So let me just go ahead and edit and show you 3 great arena champions for speed auras to start out with. Well, one of them was actually right on the opponent's team. Gorgorab is great for the arena. He serves 2 purposes. Number 1 is he has the increased ally speed in the arena by 23%, a great option in the epic category. And then he has the revival on him as well. That wasn't the other one that I was talking about though, but that's really helpful for the arena, obviously. But he has the turn meter filler, right? So we're going to talk about the increased attack in turn meter as we go on in terms of the individual roles. But for now, suffice it to say, having that speed aura is very valuable on your team. So Jingle Hunter is another one, ally speed in the arena by 24%. That's really solid coming from an epic. He also has another great ability, again, which we'll talk about in a while, but attacks all enemies, decreases their turn meter by 20% if the attack is critical, and then fills this champion's turn meter by 10% if the attack is critical. That's going to be a kind of an optional part of our team, which again we'll get to in just a second. The third aura champion that I want to talk about is Haruspex. So Haruspex also has the increased ally speed in the arena by 15%. Obviously, the 15% is pretty weak in terms of the other speed auras in the game. It can get as high as 32%. However, he is a rare, right? So having a speed aura rare is still pretty solid, and he still has the revival on his abilities and his kit. He still can fill their turn meter by 30% after he revives, and then he has the fill turn meter on the A2 as well. So definitely, Haruspex is a champion who, in my opinion, can be a really solid option if you don't have, say, Jingle Hunter or any of the other speed aura champions because of the turn meter that he has on his other abilities plus that speed aura. Okay, so getting it back to it here in terms of your overall team composition, speed is going to be the #1 thing that you think about when building your arena nuking team. So the first thing, speed. you want to make sure you're going first. So speed aura helps, like we just talked about. We just gave you some champions that you can use for a speed aura. Skull Crown's another one, obviously in the epic category. We're just going to go ahead in this video and use Skull Crown because she's the only one that I actually have built up here. She has a 23% speed aura as well, and we're going against another Skull Crown on the other team. So now we have that under control. The next thing you want to think about is, okay, you have your speed aura. You want to build one champion with a turn meter boost ability that you can ensure will not only go first overall out of all the 8 champions involved, but also will have a turn meter boost to give the rest of your champions a boost as well, okay? To kind of bring them onto their speed level, if that makes any sense. So in my case, I'm gonna go ahead and use Seeker in that role. So Seeker is great because he also has an attack up ability on his A2. It's Tailwind, fills the turn meter of all allies by 30%, and then places a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns, then grants an extra turn. So it's a perfect way for me to open my battles using Seeker's second ability. All my allies get a 30% turn meter boost, and then he has an extra turn where I can have a chance at landing a provoke, a little CC on there in a way with a provoke ability on the A1. Now, other champions out there that actually I would advise you use, we talked about Jingle Hunter with the decreased turn meter ability for the other team. That can help out if you don't have the increased turn meter for your team. There's a lot of legendary champions that have that ability as well, and just like we talked about, Haruspex and also Gorgorab have that ability as well. So having an Apothecary is another great option in the rare category. So in this video, let's go ahead and just use Apothecary. Now, when you're using this speed character on your team, whether they're in the lead or whether they're like a Jingle Hunter, for example, or whether they're going to be the second person going, just make sure, this is so important for Arena, right? This is not other dungeons or clan boss or campaign or anywhere else. You want to build them with every single best piece of speed gear that you can find, right? Let me take a look at my Seeker really quick. You know, this is going to be, his gear is weird, right? Because it's top end speed gear, but it's not top-end gear necessarily across the board. So, but this is really important that a lot of people just don't do when they're building on a speed champion. Seeker's only job for me is to go first. Once he's done, that's it. He just has to go first. So the one stat I care about is speed on my Seeker. Obviously, having accuracy is helpful so he can land provokes. Having defense is great so he doesn't die if I don't kill the team in one shot. But still, look at this gear that I have. Everything Seeker has, literally, my best 6 pieces of speed gear that I have in terms of overall speed stats. And then he gets my best speed glyphs that I can find in the faction wars, right? So speed, look at this. I mean, 23 speed on my attack. I have another 17 speed on my helmet. My shield needs a little bit of work, 13 speed. But everywhere else, I'm getting 16 speed. I'm getting another 21 speed there. And then I have 6-star speed boots on him as well. And then just getting speed anywhere that I can in his other gear. Banner being super important. So you can see on this banner, the 26 speed on this banner, that was amazing. So right now, my Seeker's overall speed is 307. So I'm not saying your speed needs to be a certain number, it just needs to be as high as you can given the gear that you have. Might not be able to get your Seeker or your whoever, Apothecary, to 307, but get them as high as you can. In a triple speed set, and, you know, again, this is like little stuff, but it's really important. Make sure that they have, in terms of your masteries on these guys, where is my Seeker? I was just looking at him. Make sure that your speed character, really important to get the full value, right? Did I just pass him, or where the heck is he? Keep going. I hate when I can't find somebody right in front of my face, right? Make sure that you guys have the Lore of Steel, so you can further increase your speed set benefits and 3 speed sets on them, right, by an additional 15%. So there we go. Speed champion. You guys, hopefully I've driven the point home hard enough here that speed is super, super, super important as part of your team. Having one champion with a turn meter boost or an increased speed who is built to be incredibly fast on your team. My Seeker is so much faster than my Apothecary right now because my Seeker has all of the best gear on him as opposed to my Apothecary. So actually I will use Seeker just to ensure I'm actually going first, and I can give you guys a good example. But Apothecary, if I just took all of Seeker's gear off, put it on Apothecary, it would be 100% fine. I would just lead off with Apothecary's A3. He would be the first character going inside the entire battle. So we're going to go back to Skull Crown in my lead. The next position that I want to talk about here, guys, is kind of a flex spot on your team, right? So we talked about speed, we talked about aura. You really want actually, before flex spot, let's talk about one of the fundamentals here. Nuker is going to be last, by the way, on the list, your main nuker, right? Defense down. Really, really, really important. So when we talk about defense down champions, we're talking about a War Maiden is an amazing option. She is a rare barbarian. She's easy to get, and you see a lot of her. She's mostly naked, and you see a lot of her in the arena, okay? War Maiden is super, super good for the arena for speed farming, guys. If you have War Maiden, she's easy to get. You can speed farm her. I forget where in campaign, but you can get her in campaign. You can just run a few campaigns, and you can pull her there. I'll check to see where that is, hopefully if I remember before the video is ending. But it's one of the campaign areas. You can just farm her. Just farm her, unlock her, and use her. Build her up for arena speed team. Attacks all enemies. 75% chance. You can book that up all the way to 100% chance of placing the strong version of decreased defense, 60%, for 2 turns. That is so solid. And how do you want to build her? You guessed it. High speed, high accuracy. The only 2 stats you really care about on your War Maiden. I see some people building her out to have a ton of attack, to be the main nuker. She can be a secondary nuker, but she is high speed and high accuracy, and that's what you care about on your War Maiden, because this ability is insane. It's going to allow your nuker to do almost double the damage given the circumstances. But you want to land this decreased defense, and you want to make sure she's going first, or she's going one of your first 2 champions to go, right? So she also has the increased attack buff on herself on the A2, and the rest of her is just, kind of meaningless for the arena. It's all about that AoE. So definitely War Maiden is a great option. I cannot stress this enough, guys. If you don't have a higher rarity defense down, having the 60% decrease down on the AoE, very, very rare. I think it's the only rare, she is the only rare to have the strong version of decrease down on the AoE. The other option might be Bellower for you guys. Bellower is a void rare. Again, we're talking rares here. There's a lot of epics and legendaries that you guys can choose from as well. Ghostborn being like the most S tier legendary. Odds are that 99% of you guys don't have him, but he is really unique and really strong in speed comps because of his A3. Attacks all enemies, 75%, 100% when booked, to placing the strong version of decrease down for 2 turns. Cannot be resisted, and then places the increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. So really, really solid defense down champion in terms of speed farming. I will not use him just because he's a legendary, but you guys get the point. You get the versatility that he has in his kit. Very rare. I think the only champion in the game to have the attack up and the AoE defense down on one ability. So say you have a War Maiden in there. You can also use Madame Cerise or a Zargala in terms of epic options. So for this video, we're gonna go ahead and use a Cerise. If I can find her, I think I still have her geared out pretty well. So she's gonna be kind of the second to go in this comp, right? And then in the last spot, or not the last spot, before we get to the nuker. The nuker in this case is weird. It's going to be Skull Crown, but she's the lead too, so she's serving kind of a dual purpose. But we haven't talked about one position. Well, we haven't talked about the nuker. We haven't talked about the flex spot. Flex spot in this case is Umbral Enchantress, but I'm going to take her out. You have a few different methods you can go in. CC is a nice ability to have, some crowd control. So having a champion with an AoE stun is really valuable. It's going to buy you time to get to your nuker, and it's just a really good slot in the arena. So Miscreated Monster is a great option there. Now, unfortunately, there are not that many AoE stunners inside the entire game. There's only 2 AoE stun champions out of all the epics in Raid Shadow Legends. It's Miscreated Monster and it's Husk. Okay, so Husk and Miscreated Monster are great in terms of kind of a CC. Now, if you don't have a AoE stunner there, you can run another nuker. That's fine, because at this point in the battle, you already have your decreased defense down, you already have your speed boost, and it's time to nuke. You can run 2 nukers. Just make sure that for speed farming, they're both AoE nukers. Now, what if you don't have two great AoE nukers? You can run, again, this is a flexible spot, so you can run a bunch of different kind of things. You can put a champion in stun gear who has an AoE. You can use them as kind of or you can use attack up champion, a buffing champion in that spot if you want to, or just another speed turn meter boost champion. So getting a turn meter boost, getting more speed, getting another debuff on the enemy team. There's all kinds of weird champions out there, like Umbral Enchantress, for example, who you can still use in a speed comp because of this ability. Attacks all enemies on the AoE and places the provoke. It will help with your sustainability, but it's just not traditional in terms of a nuking core. But if you have a champion like that who kind of a little bit outside the box in their abilities, you can use them there, especially if you don't have that AoE crowd control or a really strong nuker with the stun, kind of like a Biggin or something in that role. Okay, so your nuker, well, we just talked about it. Biggin is a great one, right? But someone who has a strong AoE attack is going to be your nuker. Biggin's obviously a legendary character, so most people don't have him, but you can run Elaine even in this spot. Honestly, guys, Elaine has a really solid, what you're looking for is just a really solid AoE kit on this champion, and her Valley of Death attacks all enemies 2 times is super solid. That's what you want. The chance to attack and get crits 2 times on all the enemies with defense down is really, really valuable. So we're going to run Elaine in today's video. There's a lot of AoE attacker champions out there, guys, so I'm not going to go through them all like I've given examples in every other category, but you guys know what a good AoE nuker is. Having an AoE nuker is obviously important to have an AoE nuking comp, right? So we're going to go ahead and run with this team and see how we do here. It has all the fundamentals. We have Cerise for the defense down. We have the turn meter boost with Seeker. We have 2 kind of nukers in Elaine and in Skullcrown, and we have the speed aura in Skullcrown. We also have the attack up. So this is a great team with no legendaries, a few epics and 1 rare, and I gave you guys hopefully a bunch of examples that you can use in different spots. So we're going to see how we do. It would suck if we lost after all this, right? So we have 2 AoE nukers. Seeker will go first, because he always does. We got the turn meter boost. So you can see on the turn meters who's going to be going next here. It's definitely going to be, the ball is in my court, so to speak. So what I want to do on their team is we have, I don't think any of them are actually going to get a chance to go, but we will place the provoke on, I don't want to get my team provoked, so I'm going to go this way. Plus it's a good affinity matchup. So put the provoke on Molly, and then we're going to go ahead and use the Midnight Ritual. That's going to remove all buffs from enemies, place the decreased attack and the decreased defense. That's going to be sweet. Boom, and now we are ready to nuke. So first, it's the Valley of Death. And we'll see, with the defense down, look at that. About 30k to each champion at the very least. And now we can go ahead and go with the Skullcrown's ability. So the A2, and boom. So almost all of them drop. Obviously, Skullcrown is invincible right now, but she's also stunned. And we're going to go ahead and just land this. And there it is, guys. That's how you build a AoE nuking team. Now, Cerise, I should say, isn't a great example because she's, unless they fixed her, she's going to default to her A2, not her A3. So ideally, you have a team that you can put on auto attack here, right? You don't have to go in and manually do it every time. This is a super weak team. Let's go to the team above it instead. And, another thing, guys, I want to say is be selective in the arena. When you're speed farming, you don't have to run the course and beat every single arena comp that you face, in terms of the groups of 10 that Raid Shadow Legends gives you. Ideally, you're not losing your trophies on offense, you're losing your trophies on defense, okay? So, again, having Cerise in there with a decreased defense, she's not going to auto it, so I can't auto attack. But you really want to be able to just be watching a TV show or whatever and be like, oh, I have 3 arena battles, I'm just going to click auto and boom. But unfortunately with this team, because of Cerise, I can't go auto because she will do her A2 instead, and we need that defense down. So whatever. You guys get the point though. War Maiden will though do her auto. So there it goes, the nuke is down and boom. See how strong Elaine can be? With the defense down debuff, now we can just go auto from here on out. But this is what you want to do. Obviously, Tormund makes it difficult to speed farm, so generally speaking, you want to avoid Tormund here. And again, at 40 seconds here, I've been kind of blabbing on, but we'll go ahead and do some non-Tormund quick matches here. Obviously, this is a an easier team with low power, but we'll just go on auto here. Actually, I'll put Ghostborn in. And actually, you know what I'll do, guys? I'll just go ahead and show you my I'll show you my main team, just for the heck of it, because you guys get the point. I feel like I've given you guys enough rare and epic options here. But I'll show you my main team and kind of how it goes. I'm going to show you the version with Ghostborn in there, because he is just really fun for a super, super fast team. And I love incorporating stuns in there and everything, so I can just lock the entire team down, the opponent's team down. So I'm going to go ahead and run... I can run Biggin or I can run Trunda. I think I'm going to go ahead and run Trunda and Ghostborn. Now, it's going to be kind of overkill here, but you guys will get the point. It's going to be fast. That's the key. I'm going to get Kymar going second. He's going to turn meter again, just to ensure that we're going, you know, next. And then boom, defense down, attack up. And everybody's, look at that Apothecary living on. Jeez, with so much health too. What the hell is up with that? But either way, you guys get the point. So that was not super fast. We want fast here. That's the goal. We know we're going to win these easier battles. We're low in trophies. The idea here is going fast. How did I totally miss that on Apothecary? I missed it. But anyway, here we go. Go auto again. This is what I do. So when I'm just sitting there again, like sitting there chilling, doing whatever, I just, this team has shields on too. Let's see if we can still take them out. Not a one hit. Ideally, we just want to be done in like 10 seconds here. So it's not going perfectly, but you guys get the point. You know what I can do is take out Ghostborn, break my own rules after this match, and put Biggin in there too, and just have two really strong AoE nukers, and it's going to be fast. The thing with Seeker that I don't love in this comp is, first of all, I have 2 attack ups, but that was fast, 8 seconds. Easy teams, but it doesn't matter. You're trying for easy teams, you know? Shamrock in the lead. You're trying for fast here, you know? So basically all your champions should be taking 1 turn. And there you go. So this is how you farm trophies, guys. This is how you farm with a nuking team. You know, obviously this is kind of, I don't know, lower level strategic content for like new or medium, mid-level players. But I'll be honest, I was kind of thinking back for video ideas, and it's just like, you know, it took me a while, maybe like a month or two, to actually realize like all the roles you can have in a speed team. Let me go ahead and just put in like 2 super big nukers and Biggin. Now this is not the same team I would run in like Platinum Arena. I would have a heavy hitting like single damage hitter, and I would have more crowd control, so the whole complexion of the team changes. I could still use Kymar, but I'd be using his A2, not his A3 as the first ability, and I would never be going on auto attack. But you guys can see how this is what I do every day, you know, when I'm feeding, farming, excuse me, my Great Hall, not feeding my Great Hall, but farming. This is, you know, kind of just going auto with an easy speed team like this, and that's about it. Granted, it's easy when you have like legendary champions. I totally get that. But what I was trying to illustrate in the first, you know, 2/3 of this video is that you can do the same thing. Granted, you won't be able to get as high in trophies, but you can do the same thing with, you know, rare teams, with War Maiden and Elaine, champions like that, in just having a, you know, Jingle Hunter or some sort of a speed lead in there. So guys, I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to do maybe more Platinum Arena this week later on, hopefully, if I can climb up, if I have enough time to actually climb up high enough. And so stay on the lookout for that. Also have some other good stuff in terms of video ideas and kind of strategy ideas coming on the way for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you guys. And as always, take care, guys. Want to wait till I don't have to edit here to make sure we kill this team. All right, the deed will be done in just a second here. So I also have, by the way, guys, a great haul guide. I think it's the pinned featured video on my YouTube channel here. If you want to know like my great haul upgrade strategy, it's a great video to kind of check out after this one. I'll see you guys there. Thank you, and again, take care, guys.